We want to make Park City the daylighting capital of the world. Traditional skylight is just simply a window to the sky. Might use some materials and things to diffuse the light and better collect the light. But until you can catch that sun just as it comes up and catch it until it sets, you really haven't maximized the ability to harness nature's most powerful light source. Our mirrors that track the sun from dawn to dusk and reflect that light inside. So they reflect the light into the building, basically picking up sun from just 15 degrees above the horizon both sides of the day. Let's take Office Depot, for example. We installed a system in North Carolina, Greensboro, and they had artificial lighting that would produce 100 foot candles, which is a measure of light intensity. And our system in January, which is one of the shortest days of the year, produced that 100 foot candles from 9:30 to 4:30. Typically the payback on just the light part of it, the energy savings, is 3 to 5 years. Now, the real advantage, which goes well beyond just turning the lights off, is the effect on human productivity and performance. For example, retail sales go up with this type of skylighting or daylighting system.
Something that we weren't really prepared for is that we have a higher average sale, and a high average sale is very important in our industry because you can't make any money selling nickels and dimes worth of stuff, that you have to get the dollars in order to pay the bills. And this store has a higher average ticket than all of our other facilities.
And the reason they go up is people are more comfortable in a daylit store. They can see colors more effectively. For example, if you're inside a building and using artificial lighting, and you want to distinguish colors. Say you bought a suit and you want to buy a pair of socks, you go into a dressing room to put the suit on and see what it looks like. You can distinguish basically 8 shades of a color. Outside in this kind of light, on a sunny day, 500,000 shades of a color. The reality is the sun is the coolest light. We just don't perceive it that way because of its intensity. So if you took, for example, fluorescent lights that generated 10,000 foot candles, you'd be burned. You have to diffuse the light so that the light coming in doesn't carry the intensity we're experiencing here outside. But once you do that, if you look at our system, we have 2 thermal barriers. One is the dome itself, and then there's a top lens, and then a light well, and then a bottom diffusing lens. And that dead air space really does create a tremendous thermal barrier. You look at the different markets available. Retail is our primary market, but you pointed out warehousing. Schools, we just signed a school in Las Vegas. In schools, they've documented an increase in grades from 20 to 27% with daylight compared to and daylight could include windows as well as skylighting. But that's the difference between a C and a B and a child going to college or dropping out of school. It's that kind of power when you have effective lighting. Looking at ambient systems, in other words, ability to collect cloudy day light, our system now will produce good light up to about 5,000 foot candles outside. Today we're experiencing probably 10,000. But when you get below that, and Seattle is one of those markets that other than this summer gets quite below that, then there are other systems and other technologies we're looking at, but this one isn't the one to get it. Now that said, New England, the Northeast, Michigan, where you have, for example, Michigan is 44% sunny and partly sunny days, our system works very effectively. But when you get down to about 30% sunny and partly sunny, then the system isn't as effective. Right now, we're selling systems with lighting control packages, because in the beginning we'd sell the system and they didn't do that, so the employees didn't turn off the lights, so you didn't have the advantage. And so now we're installing with lighting controls that we control here in Park City. So for example, we can go to that Office Depot or Linens and things and say, okay, what foot candle level do you want to turn off the lights? And we can control that. Now if you look into the future and what's going on with the Kyoto Treaty and energy credits and carbon credits, we can then begin on behalf of our customers, begin to sell those credits in the open market, which is another value. For example, CO2 footprint is measured in tons, or carbon credits, and we're gauging a small store in Michigan, which is one of the toughest markets because of cloudiness. But that store alone generates 35 carbon tons, if you will, or tons of carbon dioxide, that if we use our lighting system don't have to be sent into the atmosphere. So that would be 35 carbon credits. Now in Europe, those credits are now selling on the open market for about 16 euros or $20 a credit. So that store alone probably wouldn't justify the expense of having to trade those in the open market. But if we collect a lot of stores, now we can begin to trade them on the open market. Our goal is to, again, turn the lights off, and I think Park City is a great place to start.